Good afternoon. I'm Delphine Milo, broadcasting to you from the GBTA conference here in Brussels. Joining me today is Jason Long, SVP Global Business Development for HRS. Jason, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Thank you. So let's get right in. HRS recently conducted a research study with GBTA, and the study found that about a third of travel managers said sustainability concerns have a major or moderate impact on the hotels they choose for their business travelers. Does that surprise you? Would you have expected that percentage to be higher or lower, and why?
Well, I'll tell you this, if you do the survey again in a few months' time or next year, it will be higher because sustainability is growing and growing and growing in terms of its importance, right? That's a fact, we see that. By the way, the study was with 200 different corporates, GBTA members, and you're quite right, 36% it had a moderate impact, but what we see is the corporates that we're talking with are now demanding information from the hotels with respect to sustainability. Primarily, we're focusing on waste management, water consumption, and energy consumption. They're demanding that they get these metrics so they can make informed decisions. In fact, we have some customers now, and I like to call out Siemens on this. Siemens is a big corporate partner of ours. They do around about 2 million room nights a year for Siemens employees. That's a huge environmental impact. What this company is doing now is they're forcing their hotels, making it mandatory that the hotels give them this information. You know? And I think that is a trend that we'll see more and more. So 36% now, in the future, probably a lot more.
Okay, that's music to my ear, Jason. So half of travel managers say they ask hotels to provide sustainability information in an RFP, but will still consider hotels that do not provide it. Clearly, some factors might override sustainability concerns. What factors do you think travel managers also have to balance?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it amazes me sometimes the amount of data that our travel manager community, or even the procurement community, has to go through now to make decisions about their hotel program. It used to be primarily on the savings, the cost of the hotel, how much is it, and is it a nice hotel? What are the amenities? Now, obviously, we've got sustainability metrics that you need to consider. We also have the let's call it the safety of the hotel in terms of the health protocols that the hotel has employed post-COVID. Remember, just going back to the pandemic, all our clients wanted to know what was going on in the hotel. How are they accommodating health protocols and hygiene measures so it's safe for their clients? Also, security is becoming a bit of an issue as well. The diversity makeup of staff. You know, is the hotel, does it cater, or is it in a location that is suitable for my LGBT community of staff? These types of questions are becoming very relevant now, and we see them more and more in the RFP process. So there's a lot of data out there that clients need to contend with when it comes to procurement. But again, going back to sustainability, you will see more and more that will gain importance. We'll see carbon taxes coming in, penalties for corporates that don't adhere to reporting and that don't adhere to their net zero overriding missions, and that will become more and more important. So again, if I was any corporate, I would make sure that the providers that I am working with have the ability to get these key metrics from the hotel community so I can report on them and make informed decisions.
Yeah. And help balance all of these priorities.
And help balance. Right? You know what's interesting to me is a lot of the corporates I work with, I say, what's your sustainability goals? And you know, when it comes to hotels, which is HRS's area of expertise, is what's your goal? They say, we're going to reduce emissions by 50%. I say, good. What are your emissions today? Blank face, right? They don't know. So I'm thinking, how can you have set goals on something you can't actually physically measure today? If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So the first step, it's a small step, an important step, and quite a complex step, is to actually manage and measure. And that's where we can help.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got one last question for you, Jason, which is that the study finds out that 2/3 of travel managers are interested in prioritizing hotels in their online booking tool that have earned sustainability certification. Do you expect sustainability information to become a central feature in OBTs in the near future? And how is the industry responding to this growing interest?
Yeah, oh, quite a lot in there. Yeah, the first thing was there is definitely a prioritization of hotels that can supply this type of information. Not just in the booking channel, as you mentioned, the OBT, but also in terms of procurement. My preferred hotels will have to give me this information. When it comes to the online booking tool, there's a couple of comments there. It's all very well putting sustainability information into the tool, so travelers, when they make a booking, can see it. But most of the time, it's going to be irrelevant. A traveler wouldn't know if a hotel that was producing 5 kilograms of carbon per occupied room night is good or bad. They wouldn't know. So why display that? By the way, that would be very good. Most of the eco hotels, that would be typical, 5 kilograms of carbon emissions. A full service hotel with swimming pools and saunas and irrigation systems for the golf course would be around about 50 kilograms per night. That's an order of magnitude difference, right? So displaying certain metrics is not interesting. What is interesting for travelers in the OBT is to display and nudge them a little with very simplistic labeling. And that's what we do. So we put green labels next to the hotels that we know are more sustainable. So when a traveler goes in, very easily they can see which is the most sustainable hotel in the destination where they're going. So just to make it easy for them, because to give them statistics and information about carbon footprints, a lot of the time is lost on travelers. Nobody understands that.
Okay, so you're making it effortless for them to be great.
Making it effortless, exactly. Just nudging people, slightly altering their behaviour, which I think is very important. A lot of our clients, they spend a lot of money, a lot of energy with their sustainability teams, their procurement teams, designing a wonderful hotel program in line with their sustainability goals, but unless a traveller is part of that decision-making process, it feels empowered to make a decision on sustainability, it's probably irrelevant. Yeah. So what we do is we build this technology, make it easier at the procurement stage, but crucially as well within the OBT and the booking stage. And that's where the OBT community needs to rise up and help as well, because they need to be able to display this information in their screens so travelers can be empowered to make their own decisions.
Okay. Thank you, Jason, for this overview of this exciting piece of research between HRS and GBTA. And with that, I'm leaving you here. I'm Delphine Milo, broadcasting from the GBTA studio here in Brussels. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.